So right now what's happening at camp, if you're interested, is we are getting it set up for campers to come. So we're doing work crews. The Camp Lincoln doc just went in today. We'll be starting program training next week. And then shortly after that, we'll start training our staff for OSD, which is Orientation and Staff Development. So things are moving forward here. And it's been really warm. It's around 70, 75 degrees now. Yeah, which is, it's pretty warm for this time of year. So it's going to be a pretty warm summer, we think.
Very nice. In New York, where we're based, we've had the craziest weather. I don't know if summer's ever coming. So Rachel, I guess just so you can gauge, we're still at about a third of the participants. So if you want to start, we certainly can. We are recording, so anybody that misses the start can always see, you know, refer back to the recording afterwards.
Great. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for coming. We're so happy to have you guys join us. If you've never met me before, I am Rachel Brawley. I'm the marketing director for Lincoln and Lake Hubert. If you follow us on social media or if you get our e-newsletters, I am the face behind the online presence. So we are switching to Bunk1 this summer to use their Bunk Note service and their photo service. Some reasons for changing are some of the great features that they have for parents. So some things you can look forward to is facial recognition with photos. There's easier ways to share photos on your personal social media pages. There's also a free account for sending basic bunk notes and a phone app. So you can look at bunk replies, or you can be alerted when photos are put up from camp. So with this new opportunity, we want to make sure our parents are prepared to know how to use the services and maybe pick up some tips along the way. So we are very gracious that Rob Burns here in New York, the president of Bunk1, is taking the time to walk us through how to use the service and, like I said, a few tips along the way. So we do have a way for you to submit questions. So if anything comes up along the webinar, please feel free to send us questions, and we'll either be able to answer them along the way or we can answer them at the end of the webinar. So without further ado, I think, Rob, we're ready for you to go.
Amazing. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate your time, everybody. Thanks for joining. I'm going to share my screen with you and start by walking you through what it's like to set up an account on Bunk1. We'll start with the desktop version, then we'll switch over to the mobile app. And as I'm going through this, feel free to, as Rachel mentioned, put questions in the chat section of the Zoom webinar. So bear with me, I'm going to share my screen now. And you should see that I am on the Bunk1 website right now. Can you confirm, Rachel, that that's what you're seeing?
Yep, I'm seeing that.
Awesome. So if you've already got a Bunk1 account, maybe you've used Bunk1 in previous years, or even with a different camp, you would log into your account in this box here where it says returning users. You'll put in your email address and password and click login. If you've already signed up since receiving the information from Camp Lincoln and Camp Lake Hubert, you would obviously log in here once you've signed up. If, however, this is your first experience with Bunk1, you come into Bunk1 for the first time, you haven't yet created your account, I would pause and not create while I'm doing this demo. Maybe wait until I've gone through some of the FAQs and how people typically use Bunk1 first, and then create your account after this webinar. But there's essentially two places that take you to the same page. This link here, new starts here, or at the top we also have need an account or have an invitation code. So clicking on either of these will bring you to this page where it says about you. So to connect to the Camp Lincoln and Camp Lake Hubert platform, you're going to need an invitation code. This is unique to their camp, and the invitation code for Camp Lincoln and Camp Lake Hubert is, so put that code in and you will automatically get linked once you've completed this registration form to the right place. So I'm just going to fill this in as if I'm signing up. Let's put in a fake email address for this one. So you just follow the prompts. Passwords needs to be 6 characters. If you ever forget your password, there's an option to reset it on the Bunk1 homepage. You can put in a phone number. You opt into SMS text message notifications. This might be used throughout the summer. Camp Lincoln and Camp Lake Hubert might notify you here, but it's not going to be their primary form of communication. So feel free to decide whatever you want to do there is fine. And then your relationship to camper here, parent, relative, staff, alumni, just select that and click continue. It's then going to ask you about your child information. So I'm going to just put in my child here, gender male, choose their birthday. And when I do this, it will also ask me for my session. Now, by selecting what session you're attending, Camp Lincoln and Lake Hubert will be able to actually send you specific updates based on that session. Again, it's not the primary reason for using Bunk1, but you might hear there might be some reasons for notifying you here. So I'm just going to select a session. I accept the Bunk1 terms. You can click this, by the way, to read through the terms if you want to, and then create your account. So that is setting up an account or logging in for the first time. Before I go any further, Rachel, any questions come up based on that brief demonstration?
Not yet. We do have someone who is having issues with sound. If there's anyone else having issues with sound, do they mind maybe submitting a question or going into the chat? See if it's not a bigger issue.
Yeah, if
sound is good. Okay, so if you are having issues with sound, check the speaker that Zoom is using. And in terms of the invitation code, I will reach out to you separately. Okay, so it looks like sound is good for the most part, so we will keep going.
Okay. You may also have an option to call in for the participants, just seeing if there's a phone number here. But it might be in the email you received, there might be an option to phone in, so just call into the number if you're having trouble with the sound. Mm-hmm. So back to this page here. So the first page you're going to see before you even reach the Bunk1 platform is your option to purchase a package for the summer. Now, these bundles that have been set up are unique for Camp Lincoln and Camp Lake Hubert. They are special pricing and you can't upgrade later. So this is really important. You should select the option that is most appropriate for you at this time, because upgrading later will cost you a lot more than this. For example, you'll see here this option here, 50 Bunk Note credits, Bunk Reply stationery, unlimited Bunk Notes, unlimited Fun Notes is $50. That would cost well over $100 if you didn't do so at this stage. So I want to just be clear on that. But let's go through some of the things here so that you know what you are buying. So free of charge for Camp Lincoln Lake Hubert parents is free basic text bunk notes. So you can send as many as those as you like all summer. Credits are used to add fun notes, what we call fun notes, which include, I'll show you some previews and examples in a minute of what fun notes include, but it will be things like borders, Sudoku puzzles, baseball box scores, photos, if you want to attach a photo either from home, the dog, for example, or even if you see a great photo on Bunk1 when you're browsing through of your child, perhaps water skiing, for example, and you want to add that to their bunk note, you can do that as well. You'll need credits to be able to do that. And you'll see here the bigger packages come with unlimited fun notes. You'll also need credits if you want to use Bunk replies. So there's two options with Bunk replies. You can either request a reply when sending a bunk note. To do that, it uses 2 credits. And essentially what will happen on the camp side is right behind your child's bunk note will be their reply stationery. So they'll receive their bunk note and reply stationery at the same time. They can write back to you there. The other option is to pre-print bunk reply stationery. So that's included in this package here, the most expensive package. Sold separately, Bunk reply stationery is $20. And then you have the option before even camp starts, print off as many copies as you like, send it to camp with your child, so you can pack it with them and they can write back at any time. They don't have to wait for you to attach stationery when you send your bunk notes. And there's a few different designs too, so you can print off a few of each design if you want to. So if I selected this package here for $24.95, for example, you'll see it will actually ask me if I want any enhancements, one of which being bunk reply stationery at $20. Whereas if I selected this master package, bunk reply stationery is already included, so it won't ask you. Bunk Notes Express is the only other thing that's an additional add-on. Most people, just so you know, do not use Bunk Note Express. This doesn't get your bunk note there any faster. The way Bunk Note Express works is it's just a convenience factor for you. And I'll show you how this works afterwards. For right now, I'm not going to go into that just because it's kind of an extra feature and I don't want to confuse you already. So let's just stick to the core features first.
Rob, we have a question.
Yep.
If we're buying a plan, oh, I see it right there. So you'd have to buy a plan per camper, is that correct?
Yes, good question. So it is price per camper because you'll see there's unlimited options here. So these unlimited options are based on one camper attending camp. So this pricing is per camper. So please be aware of that too. Okay, so we're going to progress. Any other questions on that first though, Rachel, before I move on?
We haven't gotten anything else just yet.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to progress on and show you, once I've selected a bundle, what it looks like. So once you've chosen your package, you're going to come to our dashboard and you'll see these recent updates here. These are unique to each of you guys. So each user is going to see this being updated whenever camp uploads new newsletters or photos, and it's always since you last logged in. You'll also see a memory of the day, which will change each day. And very importantly, before we go into these options at the top, what I want to point out is you're going to see under My Campers, it's got my child's initials here, DB. Now, if you want to opt into facial recognition, this is really important. You need to add a profile photo of your child before camp starts. So to do so, just click on this circle here and you'll be taken to the My Campers page. You can hover over your camper's initials and you'll see a little pencil appear there. Just click on it and it will pull up your child's information with the option here to choose a photo. So just choose this photo and browse on your computer, find a good photo of your child and attach it. Once you do so, update your camper and your child's profile picture will appear rather than the initials here. That is all you need to do to opt into facial recognition. And then anytime camp uploads new photos, our facial recognition software will automatically detect those photos to see if your child is in any of them. I'm going to show you what it looks like in a demo version in a few minutes.
Are we able to upload a photo for facial recognition on your phone through the app?
So good question. So the app, that will be an option, but the app is currently waiting approval from the App Store with several updates. So we've just released a bunch of new updates in preparation for summer 2018, one of which is the ability to upload a photo from the mobile app. So as soon as, so if you download the mobile app today, it's Bunk1, you just search for Bunk1 in the App Store, just keep an eye on when updates are available. So it will notify you that there are updates available in the app, and as long as you keep your app up to date, you'll have the latest technology that we've released. So that is coming soon. It will be available before camp starts. Anything else there, Rachel?
Nope, not just yet. We're good.
Okay, good. So let me just check. I'm just going to change a couple of settings here so that I can show you some more features. Bunk Reply. If you decided you wanted to print Bunk Reply before camp, if you go to this option, you should purchase it in the bundles rather than afterwards. But if you hover over Bunk Replies, you'll see this option for buy/print stationery. And if I click on that, because I purchased it in this case, or I've just changed the settings so that it's purchased for this family, I can select stationery to print. And you see we have different designs. So we have this blank stationery, and then there's these 4 Mad Lib concepts. So perhaps based on the age of your child, you might want to make it easier for them, to encourage them to write home, and you can have these Mad Lib type concepts, and you'll see this is how it looks. It kind of asks them basic questions. The coolest thing I've done so far is, the weather has been, etc. So you can preview these and see which ones you want to print. If you've purchased stationery in advance, you will actually have the option to print all 5 of these if you want, and pack a few of each. The other way is to attach stationery when sending a bunk note. So under bunk notes, if I go to send bunk note, it's going to ask me to fill in the fields here. You'll see it pre-populates my name. I can select my camper, David, and then choose the cabin. You'll see all the cabins are listed here. You'll find out the cabin name, I assume, on day 1 of camp. Is that right, Rachel?
Yep, arrival day.
So on arrival day, you'll know which cabin your child's in. You'll select the cabin here, and then here's your fun note options. So as I mentioned, you can attach photos, you can attach borders. We've got like lots of different borders. I think there's maybe 10 borders to choose from. You'll see it will build a preview on the right-hand side here. Baseball scores, Sudoku puzzles, etc. So you can attach all of that. And then you'll also see this option here for Bunk Reply stationery. And when you click that, it will ask you which stationery you want to attach. Now, keep in mind, you don't need to do both. If you've pre-printed stationery and you've told your child, here's your stationery, write on this whenever you want to write back, you don't also need to attach it along the way here. So that's it. Put in the subject and message and click send. Then the camp will receive that bunk note within 24 hours of you sending it. It will be printed and distributed to your child. So they're seeing those messages within 24 hours. The other thing that I didn't go into before is this Bunk Note Express feature. So I want to explain this briefly. If you purchase Bunk Note Express, I think it's $9.95, you'll see a unique email for your child. So in this case, it's this series of numbers, right? Which isn't so user-friendly, but you have the ability to change it. So I'm going to update this, and I'm actually just going to put my child's name, David Burns, and click Save. And it says, address successfully assigned for David Burns. I click OK, and now I have this unique email address for my child. It's davidburns@mybunk1.com. So essentially, I can copy this email, I can give it to grandparents if I want to, and say, hey, send a message to your grandchild just by sending an email to this. It's delivered to camp as a regular bunk note. It just provides you the convenience to be able to share it with grandparents. Grandparents don't have to worry about creating their own Bunk1 account. They don't have to go through the whole process. They can just easily send an email to this address and have it delivered as a regular bunk note. Of course, that's useful too if you want to share it with your spouse, or perhaps you're traveling and on the go and it's just easier for you to send an email rather than access Bunk1 account. Keep in mind though, you do have the ability to access on the go using the mobile app. So any more questions around Bunk Notes and Bunk Replies before we move on to photos?
We do have a question about credits. How many credits is it to send one note, and how many credits is it to get one reply?
It's a good question, and it really depends what kind of a note you're sending. So you'll see that to send basic text notes, it doesn't use any credits. It only uses credits if you attach photos. It will use 2 credits. At the border, 1 credit. Baseball score 2 credits. Sudoku 1, and tweets 1. And then for Bunk Replies, you'll see it's 2 credits every time you attach stationery. So yeah, keep that in mind as you're going through. And depending on which package you buy also changes this. So one of the packages, for example, includes unlimited fun notes. That would mean that you wouldn't need credits for any of these things. You would only need credits for Bunk Replies stationery. So just keep in mind and review the bundle options, because it changes based on which bundle you select.
Mm-hmm. We've got another question. Will Bunk Notes Express email last year after year?
Good question. The answer is no. So even though you can maintain that same email address, now that I've secured my email address for my child, you have to re-enable it each year. So that $9.95 fee is for 1 year only. And anything you buy on Bunk1 related to Bunk Notes and Bunk Replies is only valid for the current camp season. So everything resets for 2019. Anything else there, Rachel? All right, let's move on. So photos then. You'll be able to view photos and go through all of the photos that camp uploads to Bunk1. So if I go through this album here, you'll see they'll probably most likely be separating them by camp. So you'll see 2 folders. You'll see the Camp Lincoln folder and then the Camp Lake Hubert folder. And then within those 2 folders, you'll probably see something like this: day 1, day 2, day 3. Does that sound about right, Rachel? Is that your plan?
Oh.
Rachel, I can't hear you anymore.
I guess my Wi-Fi went out, but I'm back in. We're good.
Did you hear what I said or not?
I did not hear what you said.
Okay, no. I was just asking, for photo uploading, is it okay for parents to expect you're going to be uploading a Camp Lincoln folder, Camp Lake Hubert folder, and then within those you'll have day 1, day 2, day 3, etc.?
Yes. So we'll have 2 different folders for each camp, and then for each folder we'll have the specific day that the photos are of. Cool. They'll be posted the day after. So if it's posted June 15th, there'll be actual photos from June 14th, which will also be the name of the folder.
Excellent. So then once we go into the root of the folder, you're going to see all the thumbnail images displayed like this. So you can just browse through all the thumbnails and you'll see they'll just continuously load as you scroll down the page. You can also view slideshow views. So the thumbnails are down the bottom here and you can click through the slideshow. And you'll see there's 3 icons on each image here. You can add them to your favorites. You see this little heart icon here allows me to add my photos to the favorites. and every user has their own favorites folder. They just are stored year after year. So you can go back 3-4 years from now and see all your photos from 2018 that you had favorited. You can also add them to your cart. This is going to add a digital download to your cart though, and I'll show you there's other options of things that you might want to purchase. So just keep that in mind. If you're adding digital download to the cart, you're going to get the full resolution photo by purchasing that. And then the other option, this icon in the middle, is a share option. So you can share this photo free of charge via email. You could send it to yourself, a friend, grandparent, relative. Just type in the email address, put a message in there if you want to, and click send. You can also share it on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And it's going to prompt you to log into your account, and it will have this default message that's populated here, which you can update and change if you want to. If you want to purchase anything, I'll show you the options here. Anything is optional, of course, but you'll see digital downloads at 99 cents, prints start at $1.49, and then you have all these different products like yearbooks, mugs. You can even do a phone case if you want, calendar, those kinds of things are all available. And we do, around the holiday times, tend to send out discount codes for you if you're interested in getting a bit of a discount on some of these items. So I think they were the main things I wanted to talk to you about with photos before I switch onto the mobile app. There's a couple of cool features to point out on the mobile app, but just to pause briefly for any questions, Rachel.
Yep, there was one question before my Wi-Fi went out about when campers receive bunk notes. That's going to be at rest hour, which happens after lunch. That's when all of the mail is delivered, and that's a good time for campers to reply to letters or to bunk notes as well. Someone asks if Bunk Notes interface sending a photo costs 2 credits. If you send via the express email address, can you send photos for free?
Good question. If you're using Bunk Note Express, you can only attach one photo, so keep that in mind. You cannot attach multiple photos, and it will still deduct credits. So the credits work the same way.
Okay. And one more, it says, how will I be notified when I have a reply bunk note from my child who's waiting for me to respond?
Great question. So if you download the mobile app, you'll actually receive a push notification. As long as you opt in to allow push notifications, you'll receive a push notification that says you've received a bunk reply. You'll also receive the reply via email. It'll be sent to your email, the email address that's linked to your account. And in addition to that, it will be on the Bunk1 dashboard as well. So you're notified in multiple places.
Are kids able to buy replies from camp?
No, absolutely not. It's all controlled by the parent. So campers will not be able to buy a piece of stationery at camp if they want to reply. You have to attach it or pre-print it and pack it with your child. And if you have any concerns, over this, then feel free to reach out to us, and we can work with Rachel and her team at camp to make sure your camper knows what the process is. But we do encourage you to discuss this with your child before camp so that they understand the process.
Great. Those are all the questions we have right now.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to switch screens right now and go over to the mobile app. So bear with me. All right. And you should be seeing my phone come up with this weather announcement. So this is a good example, by the way. This is, for those that don't know, I don't want to make any assumptions. This is what we are referring to when we're talking about a push notification. When those pop-ups come up on your phone, and just so you know what they look like if it's a Bunk1 push notification, they look like this. So in this case, Greenwood's camp, by the way, is just my demo camp. So just ignore the fact that it says Greenwood's camp. This will obviously say Camp Lincoln, Camp Lake Hubert, and it will automatically notify you when they've uploaded photos. So you will always be in the know. It will also send you a notification if you've received a reply and those kinds of things. But the Bunk1 app looks like this icon in the bottom right corner, the white background with the B1 on it. This icon here is what the Bunk1 app looks like. And you'll see that you can send bunk notes right from your mobile app, just like it's available on the desktop version. You'll be able to read your sent bunk notes. So anything you sent to your child will be listed here. And you can scroll through and read it. If it's like this and you can't really make out the text, you can just pinch to zoom in. So easy and simple there. Same thing with your bunk replies. You can click on the bunk reply to read your reply in the app, zoom in if you need to. And photos, you can look at all the photos that have been uploaded by camp, just like you can on the desktop version. You'll just see some sample photos here. You can share them on social media just like you can. You can add them to your favorites with a heart icon at the top. The only thing you can't do is buy. So if you want to purchase, you do have to use the desktop version. You can also see that I have 3 campers in this example, and there's the little circles right at the top there, and it has numbers next to each of them. So the first child has 21, the second child has 35, and the third child has 10. This is the facial recognition on the mobile app. So if I click on my middle child here, what's listed down the bottom are photos that I've already approved, the photos that I've said, yes, my child is in this photo. At the top though, when you see this symbol over the top of the photo, that means that action is required on the photo. And if I click on it, it's going to ask you if this is your camper. So you are just going through and confirming or denying whether your child is in this photo. So the software is very reliable, but if you're getting false positives, just click on no, and it will enhance the reliability of the software. So you just go through and confirm each of the photos, whether it's your child or not in the photo. You can go back to the main screen, switch campers. If you have multiple children in your family, you'll see here, my other child, is this your camper? And you just keep going through until the number is eventually 0. Just to manage expectations, this is the purpose of a demo account. It is very unlikely you'll ever come to the screen and see the number 31, 21, or 10 next to your child. Much more common will be 1, 2, or 3. So I just want to manage expectations there. You are unlikely to receive 30 photos of your child in a single day. Right, Rachel?
Yep. We got a lot of kids on camp.
Exactly.
Yep.
So any questions about that and the mobile app?
One question about the mobile app. Does the mobile app and the desktop sync when you add favorites?
Yes, great question. Thank you for that question. And the answer is yes, it will all sync. If you ever are seeing something that isn't syncing, if you click on the More button here, there's this option here to reload. Just come in here and click Reload, and that will refresh the whole app. So if something seems out of sync to you, just come and press that Reload button. But it all syncs automatically.
Mm-hmm. And if you run out of credits, can you order more? You
can, but it's at a higher rate. So I'll go back after the mobile app. I'm going to show you the standard rate, what it costs outside of Camp Lincoln and Camp Lake Hubert parents. you guys have a very special offer. If we show you the standard rate that is available, you'll see that it makes a lot more sense if you are going to buy up front. So I can't stress that enough, because the pricing is significantly higher afterwards. So you definitely get the best rate by buying up front.
Okay. We have one more question about credits. Do you want to answer that now, or wait till we get to the rates page?
Let's answer.
Okay. Can you share them? And if so, how?
So we're working on a new feature here to allow you to do this. But right now you cannot share credits. Let me come back to that question, because it's easier to show you on the desktop version. So I'm going to show you a couple more things on the mobile app. We'll switch back to the desktop version, and I can explain how it works on the desktop side and where that new feature might be coming. So the other thing I want to show you here is the activity feed. This is unique to every user, and you know, keep in mind that this is the first time Camp Lincoln and Lake Hubert are using the Bunk1 app. So, you know, we'll see how this pans out. There might be a lot going on in the activity feed. There might not be that much to start with. But one thing that we will be doing is populating their Facebook posts. So you'll see if we keep scrolling down here, this post here has a little F icon next to it. That means it's a post that's pulled in from Facebook. So whenever Camp Lincoln and Lake Hubert post to Facebook, you'll be able to see it in the Bunk1 app. But this also gives them the opportunity to send you updates that are perhaps unique to your group. So perhaps they want to update just a specific cabin group or something like that. Or whenever they send out a customized push notification, maybe they'll notify you of a special event that's going on at camp. Those kinds of things will appear in the activity feed. But every camp uses this slightly differently. So I just wanted to point that out. We'll see how this pans out over the summer. Mm-hmm. Before I switch back to the desktop version, any questions related to the mobile app, Rachel, that we need to address?
Someone would like to know if it's ready for download.
It is ready for download. So the mobile app has been used for, I think, 3 or 4 summers now. And we encourage all of you to download the app. But a couple of things. One, we are going to be releasing updates before camp starts and probably throughout the camp season. We continuously update it. So keep an eye out for updates, and please try and make sure you have the most recent Bunk1 app available. If you need to check, just for anybody that doesn't know, this App Store icon here, if you click on that App Store icon and click on Updates, it will show you any apps that are ready to be updated. So you'll see in my case, I have 14 apps that aren't fully up to date. We just want you to keep Bunk1 up to date if you can. So that's all I would say on that. The other thing is the purchase side of things. If you want to buy photos, that kind of thing is all on the desktop version. Other than that, I would encourage you to use the app over the desktop version.
Mm-hmm. And is the app free?
The app is free. Yep, there's no charge. You just click on it, and you never need to log in. There's no hassle. So I just think it's a more convenient way for you to access photos this summer and be notified and send messages. Mm-hmm. Anything else on the app?
Not on the app.
Okay, I'm going to switch back to desktop, and we'll keep going with questions on the desktop. But let me see. 1 second. Okay, I might be sharing my whole desktop here rather than something specific, but that should be fine. Are you able to see my screen, Rachel?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we see your screen and we see the Bunk Notes page.
Okay.
Bunk1 page.
Bunk1 page. Okay, cool. So what I wanted to show you, I didn't forget the question about sharing credits. So once you've logged into your account, you'll see there's an account option at the top here. And there's an option to invite family members. There can be some confusion over this option, but what I want to make clear is that when you do this, you are prompting them to set up their own Bunk1 account. You're just giving them the opportunity to create an account without the need of an invitation code or registering and going through that form that I filled out at the start of the webinar. This does not give them access to your account, nor does it give them access to your credits. What we're working on is an updated feature where you'll be able to actually share some of your credits with this person. So you can put in first name, last name, email, and then it will say, you currently have 20 credits. Would you like to share some of these credits with this family member? Now, I have no timeline on that at this stage. It may or may not be done before Camp Lincoln and Lake Cuba gets started this summer. So can't promise you this feature, but keep in mind that your relatives, if you want to invite grandparents or whomever, will be able to send basic text notes free of charge. There is no charge for them to do that. So I think they're the main things I wanted to show you today. So why don't we just kind of go through the Q&A, Rachel, and kind of see what we've missed and what's important for your parents to know before summer starts.
Yeah. So can two parents share one account?
Absolutely. We encourage this. But the way to do it would probably be when you're signing up on that sign up form, rather than put your name, maybe you want to put like mom and dad or something like that. Because what's going to happen is it's going to just pre-populate the from field here. So just be aware of that. And then all you need to do is share the login credentials with your spouse. So, if you log into the app, just both log in with the same account. That is absolutely fine.
Great. Okay. Let's see. Sending any amount of bunk notes with any package is free, correct? Is it just the replies that cost credits?
It's just replies and fun notes. So if you are only interested in sending basic text notes, yes, that is free, unlimited.
Gotcha. Okay. So this person asks, our note to them is 1 credit and their response is 1 credit. Is that correct?
No. Again, it depends which package you buy. So please, when you look at the bundle screen, it will be clear what is included in each bundle. But also on this page here, if anybody wants to take a screenshot of this page so they can see what each credit's worth, that's fine. Keep in mind that this changes. If you buy a package that includes unlimited fun notes, none of these things cost credits. That's why I can't give you kind of a straightforward answer there, because it depends which bundle you purchase. But Bunk Reply stationery is always 2 credits unless you buy that maximum option, and then you have unlimited for the whole summer. Everything is unlimited. The max package allows you to do everything without running out. I think it's $49.95, something like around there. You'll never run out. You'll never have to buy anything else if you purchase that package. But if you want to purchase a less expensive package, totally fine too. Just be aware of these credit requirements.
Mm-hmm. So the special pricing that Lincoln and Lake Cuba are getting, will that special pricing expire at some point?
No, but there's only one opportunity. That bundle screen that you saw right at the start, you'll only see that bundle screen one time. Once you've chosen your bundle, if you choose the free bundle, for example, you can't get back to that page. Then when you want to buy credits, you'll see Bunk Note credits. Here's the standard pricing. So for just 10 credits, it's $10. For $98, you'd get 150 credits. So keep in mind, for $49, it's 60 credits. For Lincoln Lake Cuba pricing, $49 will get you unlimited throughout this whole summer, which is includes the Bunk Reply stationery, which is a $20 value. So that's what you will need to keep in mind. If anybody has already selected a bundle accidentally and didn't want that and wants to change it, just email me after this, and I'll happily reset your bundle screen for you so that you can still opt in to purchase something else. But beyond that first initial screen, you will not see those pricing options again.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have here? So they want to know if you print a stack of stationery, so pre-purchased stationery, and give it to the camper before they leave for camp. Is this the same Bunk Reply stationery that's scanned in so that you can see your camper's messages?
Yes, yes. So that stationery has a unique barcode on it. Let me just show you what it looks like in the full view. I'm going to pull one up for you. Pull up this example. So you'll see that the stationery here that I have has this unique barcode on both the top and on the bottom. And what happens is Camp Lincoln, Camp Lake Hubert staff, the camper will actually fill out this Bunk Reply. They'll bring it to the camp office. There'll be a shelf for Bunk Replies. They'll put their Bunk Reply on that shelf, and then the Lincoln Lake Hubert staff will simultaneously send all of these to Bunk1. Here's the instructions for staff, like they either email it to Bunk1, oops, should have clicked on that, or they fax it to us. We automatically scan the barcode and send it to your account. So as soon as the Camp Lincoln Lake Hubert staff send this to our system, you'll receive your reply. It's instant. So there's no waiting. The only wait time is for your camper to fill it in, which sometimes they're busy and they're not wanting to respond. So communicate your expectations to your child there. Sometimes they're just having a great time and they don't respond right away. But as soon as they respond and bring it to the camp office, you'll be receiving your reply.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
And I would just want to manage the expectation for parents. Just one more thing on the Bunk Replies. They are not going to write to you as much as you write to them. They love getting your messages. They love reading your messages. But in terms of campers writing back, it is very rare that, the children are writing to you 3-4 times a week. The likelihood would be more like once or twice a week.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we do have camper rights, so twice a week. They are required to write a letter, and we make sure that they do that, and then we send it in the mail to you guys. So that will happen. Outside of that, a lot of times they're just hanging out with their friends and not in the cabin writing letters or bunk notes. Someone did ask about snail mail. Yes, snail mail is at camp as well. So we have snail mail and we have bunk notes as an option. Another question is, does Bunk Notes Express cost?
Yes, Bunk Note Express costs $9.95, and that gives you that unique email address that you have available to share with your family members or use yourself for convenience purposes.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. If I send basic messages, then will I have enough credits to attach 10 replies for my child?
It depends what package you purchase. So let's go back to the packages a second and show you. Bear with me one second.
This specific person says they bought the third package.
The third package?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they do, but I just want to check one second. So let's go back, because this is probably where most of the questions will come in anyway, just in terms of pricing. So I'm going to get hopefully back to that screen for you guys. I might just have to log out one second. Just going to log out. Okay, so here is the bundle screen. So if you purchase the third package here, you've got 20 Bunk Note credits. So yes, that is enough for 10 replies. You've got unlimited fun notes, unlimited basic text notes. So you basically have everything is unlimited with 10 replies. But keep in mind that you're attaching reply stationery, so your child might not actually reply. It's costing you those credits when you attach the stationery, not when you receive the reply. That's an important note. So you have the opportunity to attach 10 pieces of reply stationery. If, by the way, you attach 10 pieces of reply stationery and your child hasn't responded, we feel terribly for you. And of course, we'll add more credits for you to try and get that response. So hopefully, after 10 prompts, you'll receive a reply.
So someone is asking if they do buy one of the larger packages that includes the Bunk reply stationery and the unlimited fun notes, then what are the credits for? Are those for the replies? Is that for anything else?
That's a good question. And to be honest, you shouldn't need credits. The reason why we put them in here anyway, so that question, Rachel, is geared to really just this max package, and you'll see 50 Bunk Note credits. It's totally unnecessary. You don't need any credits, but we put them in anyway, just in case for some reason you forgot to send your stationery to camp, or your camper can't find their stationery, it's in their backpack and they've never opened their backpack all summer. You can be like, okay, I can prompt my child by attaching stationery when sending a Bunk Note. So you've got 50 credits there to make sure throughout the whole summer you can just keep attaching, but you shouldn't even need to do that.
Okay. Let's see. The last question we have is, do I have to choose a package before uploading an image of my child?
Yes, you do. I don't know, that will be the case for much longer. We're actually restructuring the way that works. So we want to actually have you have a better onboarding before you're presented with this screen to purchase a package, but that's not something that's live right now. So again, there will be several changes that take place in the next 3 weeks before camp starts. And if you're a second session parent, then of course, there's several weeks between now and when camp starts for you. So several updates will be coming, but for right now, you can't upload a profile picture until after this screen.
What do we do with leftover credits?
They are only valid for the current camp season. So they will expire at the end of the year. Essentially, whatever you don't use, you lose. But keep in mind that we have these unlimited options. So we can't roll over Bunk Notes with these unlimited options. That's why the pricing is so much less expensive than the standard credit options.
Great. One just popped in. Yes, so we are recording this webinar. So if you happen to just join us, or if you know someone who wanted to join and was not able to, this is being recorded and it will be made available online. So we will make sure that you have the information you need to either watch this again or share this with other camp families. One more question. Let's see. Can we choose 2 different packages for 2 different campers?
That is a great question. I see that question come in as well. And we are working on that functionality. Right now, we can't do it here, but if you call us or email us, our email address is support@bunk1.com. Our phone number is 212-974-9112. Our typical hours, at least for now, are like 9 till 6 p.m. Eastern time, but that's extended significantly during the summer hours, and we're open on weekends too. So feel free to get in touch with us. We will work with you to do that, so that one camper has the lower package and the other camper has the higher package. It's not available to you to do on your end just yet.
Great. Well, no other questions have popped up. If you do have other questions, like Rob said, they have their support that is available 7 days a week. There's also the camp office that you guys know. If you need that number again, it's 800-242-1909. And I think that's about it. Rob, do you have anything else before we go?
No, I guess I'll just emphasize that we are here to support you. So, you know, anything that comes up throughout the summer, feel free to reach out. We want it to be a great experience for you. So, and we welcome your feedback too. So please feel free to reach out to us if you have any ideas or, you know, constructive feedback. One thing I will let you know is all of our staff are based in New York. For some reason, some parents think because we're a software company, we outsource all of our support. That is not the case. All of our customer support is handled in-house. And we do hire some interns over the summer that are all college students working towards marketing and communications degrees. They're all young, and so at the start of the summer, they're you know, a little fresh on some of this, so please be nice to them. Sometimes they can get a hard time on the phone if they're not totally aware of an answer right away. They're trained pretty quickly and comfortable very early on, but just those initial weeks, you might find that you are speaking to someone that doesn't have all the answers right at hand.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. And thank you everyone who attended. We are so excited to have your campers join us this summer, and we are just itching to get things going. So please feel free to reach out to either Bunk1 or us if you have any questions, and have a wonderful evening.
Yes, thank you all so much for joining. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah.